Do you know what are the taboos of the Hungry Ghost Festival? According to legend, the gates of hell open every 15th of July. Ghost free time acceptance. Secondly, you can't wear red clothes at night. Don't even look in the mirror. You'd better be home by now. Don't linger on the street. And here's the thing. Do not step on the tributes and fingers used for sacrifice indiscriminately. Because the tribute is to keep the king fed and on his way. Fingers are also known as road money. Used to buy beef head hemp noodles. To reassure them. If you don't have a kitchen knife left, the consequences could be serious. This story is the personal experience of my friend Rich. Very wicked. 14 years. I am rich with my friends. Working as a small laborer on a construction site in Shenyang. Foreman. Well said at the time. I heard that as soon as the project is over, it will be checked out immediately. For a few months. In addition to a few $100s a month for living expenses. No cents were settled. On this day, Fugue and I asked the contractor for money. I was scolded for not receiving the money. I found a barbecue stand on my way back. Had a drink. Wealth is a temper. I almost got into a fight with the contractor today. No news since I came back. Whining all night. This wine was drunk until nearly 11 o'clock. We also drank well. Walking home on the road. And there was a conductor in the air. A man with a black smoker can't open his eyes. We just found out. It turns out that there are a lot of people burning paper on the side of the road. There are others at the crossroads. Small steamed buns made with sprinkled white noodles. We then remembered that today is the traditional Central Plains. According to legend, the gates of hell are open today. All the ghosts will come out to enjoy the incense. Because this road is so smoky. We just wanted to take a shortcut home. I turned into a small alley next to it. Who knows just turned into the alley. Rich and Noble stepped on a pile of commands. And that's when the wind blows. It made me and Fugue eat a mouthful of command soil. Don't mention how uncomfortable it is. Fugue got angry all of a sudden. He kicked over the steamed buns and candles offered on the road. And he didn't understand. I trampled all the small steamed buns on the road flat. I immediately advised him not to do it. Gray unlucky. But he didn't listen to my advice at all. And kicked out all the power supply. It's almost time to instruct him to vent. We just staggered towards the house. Maybe he drank too much. On the way, I went to the corner to release water. Wealth is waiting for me right behind me. But when I finished peeing, I found that the wealth was gone. The alley bend behind you. Suddenly a very strange sound came. It sounded like a lot of people. What are you doing together? Noisy. I thought Fugue ran over to watch the fun. So I went down and looked around the alley. But I never dreamed I would see such a terrifying scene. That alley is full of ghosts. The ghosts are squatting on the ground. Crazy scrambling for fairness on the ground. What's even scarier is, Wealth is like being possessed. Fighting with them. But he couldn't make it through the barbecue just now. It's like we haven't eaten for 3 days now. I was cold with the blood of the wrath in front of me. Because it's beyond my comprehension. I stood there, not knowing what to do. Just then, the rich and the ghosts seemed to have discovered me. All turned their heads in my direction. Staring at me. I quickly hid in the corner of the alley. At that time, I really wanted to run away like this. But the wealth is still there. I can't leave him alone. So I got brave. Look around that alley. I didn't expect those ghosts to disappear. There is only wealth left in the alley, desperately gnawing steamed buns. I saw that the ghosts were gone, so I went up and called him. I want to drag him away quickly. But he can't seem to hear me. And he has a lot of strength. Struggling desperately. It seems that he is afraid that I will grab the steamed buns with him. I used the power of the flood to drag him away. After walking out of this alley, he slowly regained consciousness. Then Fugue felt the stomach pain unbearable. And then vomiting. People also passed out. I rushed him to the hospital for treatment. After 2 hours, the doctor came out. The doctor said that when giving Fugue gastric lavage, found that he had spat out a lot of unchewed steamed buns. There's a lot of direction. It's all turned into a sludge by gastric juices. Quantity is very large. And he's still in a coma. After listening to the doctor's words, I also understood. Fugue was tricked by a ghost. I quickly contacted my uncle who seemed to be showing people. According to uncle's orders, I brought a lot of named fingers and steamed buns. Also bought a bottle of wine. Came to that alley and burned the paper. Watching the conductor roll into the sky. I think there are a lot of traditions and customs. Can never be forgotten.